Hi everyone, hope everyone is going well today. So thanks for tuning in to Body Connect Exercise Physiology. We are doing another free exercise class today. So we're featuring 10 different exercises and we'll do those exercises for a minute and a half. We'll have a little bit of a rest and then we will do those same 10 exercises again, but we're just going to do them for a minute for the second time around. So all we need today is a chair. So if you've got a chair at home, grab that. And the other thing we'll be using today are some weights. So I've just got some little 1 kilo dumbbells. If you don't have any dumbbells, then grab yourself a drink bottle with some water in it or a couple of tins of food, whatever you've got that's comfortable for you to hold in your hand, and that just adds a little bit of weight for you. So that's all we need for today. Today we're going to be focusing on some cardiovascular exercise. So that's exercise that increases our heart rate, increases our breathing rate, and gets us feeling like, you know, we're working a little bit harder. So it's not so much the strength stuff today, although there is strength exercises in there. It's more about getting that heart rate and getting that breathing rate up today. So just as a little tip to keep an eye on how hard you're working, it's a good idea to use what we call a rating of perceived exertion. So this is a scale that goes from 1 to 10 and it allows you to rate how hard you're working. So if you're working at a 1 out of 10, super easy, doesn't really change your breathing rate, you know, you're finding it no problems at all. If it's a 10 out of 10, you know, you're really gasping for breath, you might not even be able to get a sentence out, you're just working so hard, you've got absolutely nothing left in you. We don't want you to go to that point. What we're aiming for is somewhere in the middle, so about a 4, 5, 6 out of 10. So that means that you are noticeably breathing harder when you're having a conversation, or if you were talking in a sentence, it'd be more kind of trying to get a couple of extra breaths in while you're talking. So they say that, you know, you can talk, but you can't sing. So you certainly couldn't burst into song because you've got that increase in your breathing rate. So just keep that in the back of your mind as we're working through today. So we're aiming for about a 4 or a 5, even a 6 out of 10. If you feel yourself going above that, where you're really gasping for breath, then please stop, have a rest once you get that breath back down again, and then start again. So just, it's a really easy way of just keeping an eye on yourself, monitoring your intensity without having to take your heart rate or anything like that. So as I said, today's focus is cardiovascular stuff. So we are trying to get our heart rate up. Don't be scared of getting your heart rate and your breathing rate up. It's not a bad thing. It's good for our cardiovascular system. It's good for our respiratory system. But it's just a matter of doing it in a way that's comfortable and okay and suitable for you. So as per usual, please listen to your body. You are an expert in your body. You know your body best. So don't do anything that doesn't feel right. So for those that have just tuned in, chair and some weights are all we need today. If you don't have any weights, just use whatever you've got around home. If you don't have anything that you feel like you can use today, doesn't matter. You don't really need them that much. So it's all good. So we're going to get started. So hopefully that's all working okay. All right, so our first exercise today is just a little side step. So we're going to start off, I'm going to go this way a little bit. All right, so we're going to start off with a nice big side step. Now, if you have any issues with your balance, please hold on to the back of your chair as you're doing this. And please take it at a pace that is comfortable for you. So if it's a little bit slower than what I'm doing, that's fine. Now, if that's feeling comfortable for you, what we're going to do is add in a hamstring curl. So that means bringing your heel up towards your bottom, like so. So you're still stepping side to side, but you are bringing your heel up towards your bottom. Now, if you have knees that don't allow you to bring your leg up that much, just do what you can, or just go back to your side steps. That is absolutely fine. So remember, the aim of today is to get that heart rate up, get that breathing rate up. So if you can, try and pick up that pace just a little bit. So this is kind of just acting like a little bit of a warm-up for you. So you don't have to go too hard just yet, but try and get those legs moving. We're not really going to be using our arms much today, but if you want to add in some arm movements, you can do whatever you like. You can do a little bicep curl, you can push your arms out in front, You can do some little circles if you coordinate enough. Not feeling it today. So you can do whatever you like just to try and get those arms feeling a little bit warmer as well. Also opening through that chest. All right, holding onto the back of your chair, what I want you to do is take a step back and in. I'm just going to scoot forward a bit so you can see that. So back and in, back and in. So the front leg isn't really moving. We're just taking a step back and stepping back in again. Now, if that's feeling okay for you, just stay there. If you want a bit of an extra challenge, I'll get you to bend that back knee a little bit. So step back, bend, come back up. So it's entirely up to you how far you would like to take it. But this will get those really big muscles in your legs working. So not only in your thighs, but also in your glutes, which is your bottom muscles, change legs. And that means that it will inevitably get you feeling a little bit warmer, get the blood flow happening, get that heart rate up, get that breathing rate up. So a good thing to do. So if that's starting to feel like a little bit too much, then just stick with that step back and in. Step back and in. So the main thing with this one is that your knee doesn't go forward. So we're not trying to lunge forward or anything like that. We're stepping back. So our weight's coming onto that back leg. And about 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, and done. All right, back to another cardio exercise. So box step. So we're going to step forward, forward, back, back. So a nice big wide step forward, and then feet together at the back. So you can take it at a nice slow pace, and then once you get the hang of it, try and pick up that pace a bit. So it's a nice big wide step, and then back. You can alternate the leg that you lead with if you wish. I will tell you when we're at the halfway point, so you can swap legs. It's entirely up to you how you want to do it. You can keep going the same side the whole way through if you want to. Just remember which leg you do if you're doing that, and then swap when we do the second round. Speaking of swapping, if you want to swap halfway, swap now. So leading with that other leg. Big wide step back in. Again, if you want to get those arms moving while you're doing that, that's fine. More body parts that you're moving, the more energy that you're expending, so the better, basically. And you can do whatever you like with the arms. You don't have to do what I'm doing. You can do like a little shoulder press, which is a shoulder squeeze, I should say. Do all sorts of things. It doesn't really matter. Excuse me. All right. And got about 5 seconds to go with these ones, so keep those knees nice and soft. Should be starting to feel that heart rate going up by now. All right, grab your chair again. We're going to do our sit to stands. So standing up nice and tall and straight, hips go back, sit down on your chair, big push through your legs, standing up. So make sure with this one that you're putting your weight through your heels as you stand up, and when you're sitting back down, you're really pushing those hips back. Keeping your body up nice and straight, so you're not sort of going like this to stand up, pushing through those heels. If you need to use your hands on your knees to give yourself a little bit of a push, absolutely fine. Now, if that's feeling a bit easy, or you're not feeling like that's working your legs very much, then add in that little hover. So instead of sitting all the way down, we hover, stand back up. Hover above the chair, stand back up. And you'll notice that my knees are not going forward. It's my hips that are doing all the work. Yes, my knees are bending, but they're not going forward. They're not putting pressure on those knee joints. This movement, lots of people think squats are about knees. And yes, as I said, your knees bend, but the movement should be driven through those hips. It's your hips going back and pushing up through your heels. The more you can push through your heels, the more it's going to work those muscles in your bottom, which is very important for your stability and your overall strength. So push those hips back, and done. All right, we're going to go back to a side step again. So just start with that nice comfortable side step. Sorry, I need to give myself a bit more room. And what we're going to do this time is a little leg lift. So what that looks like is step, lift your leg, step, lift your leg. Now, if you need to hold on to do this, please do. If that's feeling a little bit odd for you, then hold on to something and just do your side leg lifts holding on. But if you want that extra challenge, try and step, lift, and I'll tell you when it's halfway in case you need to swap legs if you're just doing the static version. So swap legs now if you need to, otherwise keep alternating. So you should start to feel this in those muscles in the side of your hips, both in the leg that you're standing on and the leg that you're lifting. So you're not trying to kick the ceiling or do any crazy kung fu moves. It's just about a nice controlled lift. So control, control. Still trying to keep that pelvis and those hips reasonably level. Certainly feeling the burn in this one. Yep, that's the way. Got 5 seconds to go. Have a rest if you need to already, and done. Give those legs a little shake. That one's tough. All right, grab hold of your weights for me, or whatever you would like to use. Split stance, so one foot in front of the other, slight bend at your hips, and we're going to do our running man. So what that means is just bending, straightening the elbow. We're not using our shoulder, we're not getting the whole thing happening, we're not sprinting down a track, we're just bending at the elbows, getting those biceps working. As you're standing in this position, try and keep those tummy muscles nice and strong as well. And hopefully you're noticing that breathing rate's gone up. This one's a little bit of a easier one. It's working smaller muscle groups, so this is kind of a little bit of an opportunity for a rest. So we've got a bit of a balance one coming up next as well. So balance is always a tricky thing when you're a bit out of breath. So yeah, this is an opportunity to just kind of slow your breathing a little bit, catch your breath before we go into the next one. If that's getting uncomfortable with your legs, then feel free to switch them around. Doesn't really matter, but just keep those arms pumping. The faster you go, obviously, the more it's going to affect your breathing rate and your heart rate. So just take it at a pace that feels right for you. And then we're going to get our chair back after this one so that we've got something to hold on to. And I reckon that's done. Beautiful. Okay. Throwing my timer around. So, holding onto a chair, what we're going to do is lift our leg up and down. So up and down. So when you're taking the foot back down to the ground, you're not resting the whole foot on the ground. It's just a light touch of the toe and back up. And so again, if you want to get that breathing rate up a little bit more, go a little bit faster. And try not to hold on if you can. So try and keep those hips nice and level, pelvis stable, lift and lower. So as well as challenging your balance, this one's also working the muscles through your body. And change legs for me. So all those strong abdominal muscles that you need for stability as well, but also those muscles in your thigh, particularly if you're picking that pace up a little bit. And as I said before, when you're working these muscles here, they're really big muscles. They need a lot of blood supply, which means that heart rate's going to pick up, that breathing rate's going to pick up, but also you'll still start to feel that warmth in your body as well. So keep going with that one if you can. So remember to have a rest at any point that you need to. Keep going for another 10 seconds. I know my thigh's starting to get pretty tired. So if you're keeping up with that, you're doing a really good job. All right, resting there. Okay, next one is our shoulder touches that we've done before, but we're going to do them standing today if you're able to. So hands out to the side, touch shoulders, ceiling, shoulders. Side, shoulders, ceiling, shoulders. So that might be enough for you. So just, or even just the shoulder touches like so might be enough. Add in the ceiling if you can. And then if you're really feeling clever today, we're going to try and do this while marching on the spot. So you don't have to do a really speedy march or anything too serious, high knees or anything like that. Just keep moving. And you'll notice that my, that my breathing rate's going up a little bit. I'm certainly feeling a little bit warmer than I did when I started this. I said it's the first day of winter here in Australia, so and it's just started raining outside again, so winter is making its presence felt. So I'm trying to distract you from the fact that your arms are probably starting to feel really heavy right now. So just try and keep moving. If you need to stop, reset, start again, please do. Watch those shoulders aren't lifting, keep them relaxed. No shoulders up around our ears. I think we've got about 2 seconds to go. There we go, give those arms a really good shake. Okay, next one is some toe taps. So what this is gonna look like is keeping our weight over our center and tapping our feet forward. Now, I'm just going to use the back of my chair here, and what you can do is try and tap up a little bit higher. So if you've got something around you that you can sort of just do a light tap with your toe, go ahead. Otherwise, just keep it on the ground, that's fine. So if you are lifting your foot a little bit, you might need to go a little bit slower. Make sure you don't kick your toe or anything like that. But try and go just as quickly as comfortable for you. And we're trying to sort of switch those legs over reasonably quickly. So not necessarily jumping, but just a quick little switch of those legs. So again, just getting into those muscles in your thighs there, so your quadriceps. And should also be getting those muscles in your bottom a little bit as well. So keep going there for another few seconds. Don't forget to check in with yourself on that scale of 1 to 10. If you're feeling like this is sort of creeping up towards a 6 or a 7 out of 10, then it might be a matter of just slowing it back down a little bit and then picking the pace up when you're ready. All right, this is our last exercise. So side taps this time. So we were doing side steps before, now we're doing side taps. So I want your knees to have a soft bend in them, and we're tapping out to the side. And again, trying to get that pace up a little bit, getting that breathing rate up, getting that heart rate up. Now, if you feel comfortable doing so, and if your ankles, feet, knees, hips, back, pelvic floor, all of that sort of stuff allow it, you can add a little tiny hop in the middle. But as I said, only if that's something that you are 100% comfortable with. So basically adding a little bit of extra load bearing through those legs. So we know that people who have osteopenia, which is the sort of lead up to osteoporosis, or even have osteoporosis where their bones are starting to get a little bit weak, can really benefit from that impact exercise. But obviously it's really important to make sure that it's suitable for your body. So talk to your health professional before you go starting to jump around the house like a kangaroo. So just make sure that, yeah, it's suitable for your body, but it certainly can have some benefits. So keep that one up for another 5 seconds. And 3, 2, and done. Well done, everyone. So that is round number 1. See, it does get your heart rate up and your breathing rate up. So go and grab yourselves a drink, have a little bit of a breather, check in with yourself, make sure that you're not, going too high on that 1 to 10 scale. We're aiming to keep it at about 5, 6 maximum. And if you felt like, oh, that was actually pretty easy, I probably only did a 3, maybe a 4 out of 10, then think about this next round, maybe trying to just up a little bit. Now that you're feeling a bit more familiar with the exercises, it might be a little bit easier to pick up that pace a little bit. I know it's hard initially to, try and work out what you're supposed to do and then get on with it. So, yeah, grab yourselves a quick drink. I'm going to have a quick drink because my voice starts to get a bit croaky about this point in time. So I will see you back here in just a moment. Okay. So, going to do those 10 exercises again, and we are going to do them with 1 minute on the clock this time instead of a minute and a half. So that reminds me, I should actually just change my timer. There we go. Oh, wrong way. So as I said, don't forget to check in with yourself, make sure that what you're doing feels right, and we are good to go. No, we're not. That says 1:10. There we go, that's better. Okay, so back to our first exercise, which was our side steps. So let's get going. So nice big wide step. The wider that you can go, the better. And if that's feeling okay for you, add in that hamstring curl. So that means bringing your heel up towards your bottom to whatever height feels comfortable for you. Keep those knees nice and soft as you transfer from side to side. So we're certainly not locking out our knees. So you can see my knee stays bent even when I've got my weight through that knee. My knee still stays bent. That's the way, so just keep moving side to side. You can go a little bit faster if you wish, you can go a little bit slower. Just keep checking in with yourself, making sure that you're doing okay on that 1 to 10 scale. And we've got another 10 seconds to go. And then we need to grab onto our chairs again. So keep that moving. Let's do that 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, grab hold of that back of that chair again and stepping back and in for our little lunge tap. So transfer the weight back behind you, step back and up. If that's feeling okay, bend that back knee. So you see I'm not going too far down towards the floor, just a little bend that feels comfortable. That's all you need to do. Same as when we're doing our sit to stands. As you can see, that knee, yes, it's bending, but it's not traveling forwards. And that protects the knee joint itself. So when you go, that knee joint goes forward past your toes, sorry, sock sides, it does put quite a lot of pressure on there, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but if you do have sore knees for any reason, it can make them feel more painful, and it's not fun to have pain. So as much as you can, try and keep that weight directly above your heel, basically. All right, box steps. So that's the one where we step out, out, in, out, out, in. So nice big wide step to start off with. Nice wide movements. I better keep an eye on the time this time, because we will swap legs if you wish. Otherwise, if that's feeling comfortable, just keep going. All right, change sides. So leading with the other leg. And again, you can get the arms moving if you wish to. So it's all about energy expenditure. So the more we move, the more energy we expend. It's that simple, really. And about 10 seconds to go, and then we're going to move on to our sit to stands again. And there we go. So spin your chair around and hips go back. So it's the hips that initiate that movement. Hips back, sit down, push through your heels, stand up. Push down and up. Push back and up. If you want to challenge yourself, hover and up. Hover and up. When you come to the top of that movement as well, think about squeezing the muscles in your bottom. So it's a little glute squeeze there at the top as well. Just watch those knees, make sure that your knees aren't turning in. So when I squat back, you can see that my knees, hips, ankles all stay in a nice straight line. They're not coming in like so. You want to keep them nice and straight. Push hips back and up. And about 5 seconds to go. And last one. All right, grab something to hold on to if you need it. Otherwise, we're going to do our side leg lift. So step to the side, lift that leg. Step, lift, step, lift. So similar to our side steps before, we're keeping nice soft knees as we transfer our weight side to side. Sorry, keep kicking the chair. So remember, if that's too challenging or it's not feeling right, just go straight back to your single just holding on to something and just doing a single side. Otherwise, try and keep moving as much as you can. Now, if you're doing just a single one, swap legs. Keep those knees nice and soft. So it doesn't have to be a huge movement, just enough to get you feeling it right in the side of those hips there, also in your thighs as well. This is a tough one, so just stop and have a rest if you need to. If that's going above that 5, 6 out of 10. All right, give those legs a little break. Now, grab your weight for me, and we'll do our running man. So split stance, which means one foot in front of the other, like so you're nice and stable, and we are just bending at our elbows. So shoulders stay still, chest stays open. Got to keep the chest open so that we're getting that air into the lungs. Keep breathing. I know I'm certainly feeling a bit warmer. So keep going as much as you can. Keep your shoulders relaxed. And try and pick up that pace a little bit. Swap your legs over if you need to. Keep going as much as you can, as fast as you can, without your form being compromised. Keep moving. We're nearly done. 2, 1. There we go. Okay. Next one is our high knee lift. So holding on to something as you need to. Then lift and lower that leg. So lift, lower, lift, lower. So it's not about doing a huge movement, it's just about taking that leg as high as comfortable for you. If you can get that knee up in line with your hip, well and good. Otherwise, even just a tiny little lift off the ground is fantastic. And change legs for me. So lifting up, down. So we're trying to get a little bit of a pace going with this one. Also trying not to counterbalance with our upper body either. Try and stay up nice and straight. Going to make those muscles work a little bit harder. So I put my hands on my hips to make sure that my hips and my pelvis stay level. But if you're holding on to something, that's obviously a bit tricky. But just be mindful of trying to keep them nice and level. All right, excellent. So standing still, we're going to do our shoulder taps. So out to the side, to the shoulders. That's step 1. If you want to, add in the lift up to the ceiling. That's step 2. And step 3 is adding in that march. So it's just keeping the feet moving. That's all we're doing. We are keeping our shoulders relaxed as well. So even though we're lifting our arms up overhead, we're not hitching them. We're keeping those shoulders nice and relaxed. If you feel like you're starting to lift up through here, then stop, have a rest, give your arms a shake, reset your posture, and start again. It's really important that those muscles don't creep up around your neck, because they get tight and cranky enough without us adding to the cause. So try and keep them as relaxed as much as we can. And there we go. Okay, so next one was our toe taps. So again, you can use something in front of you to just gently tap your toe on. Otherwise, just the floor is fine. And we're trying to get that pace going a little bit. So if you want to, you can add a little sort of kind of, not a jump, but just a little quick sort of skip, I guess, in the middle, if that's something that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, just step it out, that's absolutely fine. As I was saying before, that impact kind of exercises are really, really good for your bone strength, but there's a way of doing them safely and not aggravating joints and things like that. So if it doesn't feel right for you, don't do it. 3, 2, 1, and now moving on to our side steps. So stepping out to the side, keeping your weight over the center. And if you want to, again, you can add that tiny little skip kind of step in the middle. So this is our last exercise. So if you're currently sitting at about a 3 or a 4 out of 10, I want you to try and pick that pace up. I want you to try and get that breathing rate up, heart rate up. So if that means going a little bit faster, even if you're just stepping it out, try and go a little bit faster. Keep that body moving, keep those knees nice and soft, light on your feet, particularly the leg that's out to the side, so all of your weight stays through the center. It's on that supporting leg there, that one's just really for balance. So keep it going for another 10 seconds and then you're done. So keep going for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're done. Well done, everyone. Whew. So, yeah, something a little bit different today in terms that we focus more on that cardiovascular stuff rather than so much the strength stuff. Just as important to do both, really. So, obviously going for a walk is a little bit is an easy option for some people in terms of the cardiovascular stuff, but it's not always easy to get out of the house, and particularly as winter has arrived, it's getting a bit tricky to get out of the house some days. So having an option that you can do at home, so if you do that, that's 30 minutes of getting your heart rate up, getting your breathing rate up, which is great for your cardiovascular. So I guess it's a backup option if you can't get out for a walk or do the usual things that you do that do get your heart rate and your breathing rate up. So all of the videos are now available on my website. So that is bodyconnecttaz.com.au, and you'll find a link to all of the videos that I've done in the past there. So if you're feeling like you have the need to do some exercise and you can't think what to do and you want a little bit of guidance, then just go to the Body Connect Taz website and they're all listed there. This one will be up there hopefully tonight, if not tomorrow. So they're also always available on the Body Connect Exercise Physiology Facebook page, so they're there for you as well. I guess the advantage of the ones on the website is that it doesn't have all of the random chat from me at the start of all of the videos, so I've kind of edited them so you don't have to listen to me rabbit on. So anyway, speaking of rabbiting on, I will let you all get on with your day. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you all this time next week, and we will do it all again. Thanks very much, guys.